Hey everybody, it's Tuesday and we're back because last week went well and a lot of people seem to like the Comp Tip Tuesday. This week again we're going to focus on some edges, but this time a different application. So we're talking about this little guy, the PXF Vector Edge Blur, and it's used generally in high motion blur situations, if you will. So we have a nice little clip of a basketball here. Flying in the hoop, and I don't know why you would do this, but let's say you want to change the background. You're gonna have some issues, right? You're gonna have some let me show you. There you go. You're gonna have some blue of the previous sky around the basketball, and you want to get rid of those. Of course you want to get rid of those. And generally what you could do is just sort of manually make an edge blur, flop over back the detail, and then pre-melt it with the motion blur mask, and then you'll have something like this. You can also use one of the many third-party plugins, Edge Extend, Color Smear, Color Dilate, whatever, you understand it. But the issue that we run into is very obvious. If you look here, there is very little detail. It's all one big blur. It's all one big mess. You don't want to deliver your shot to your supervisor that way. No way. So here is where the PXF Vector Edge Blur comes in. The same pixel fudge family that we used last week. We used the PXF Distort. You know, this is like I showed you. This is for situations with very little motion blur. Let's get rid of that. And here, when we use this, you can see it sort of streaks out very nicely into the motion blur. So if we compare that, 1, 2, 1, 2, this is the edge extend, and then this is with the PXF Vector Edge. It's a very simple node. All you have to do is get a mask of your basketball, in this case. Make sure that you mask it not in the feather, but where it's completely opaque, if you will. So then that's left with this, with no sky visible. And then all you do is plop it into the vector edge blur, right? And here are the settings. This is the channels that gets analyzed for the motion blur. In this case, the alpha. You can also use the RGB, but why not use the alpha? It's much more clear. It's just black or white, of course. And then you can choose a method. It's either motion blur, but you're gonna have these samples here. You would have to increase it by a lot. It's actually heavier, I think. Generally, it's set to a vector generation and vector blur, which should be all right for most situations, unless you get some glitches. Then you might want to switch to motion blur. And now, if we look at the result, haha, beautiful. Okay. So next time you have a high motion blur situation, think of this. Try it out. Okay, bye.